Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Suffolk Smoker. My apologies for not posting any videos in recent times, but I've been doing my day job and I've been across to Nigeria on the River Delta, undertaking a gas pipeline project, which has taken up a lot of my time. But I'm actually back now, although saying that, soon to go back out again, but back now, and we have a barbecue tomorrow. We have all the family coming around, and we have a whole selection of meats that we're going to do. We have the traditional barbecue, which we have the chicken and the sausages, etc. On the smoker, which is the reason I'm really doing this video, is that we have the spare ribs, which I did last time if you saw my other video. But I'm also going to do some belly pork, so burnt end belly pork, and also a chuck roast. Now the interesting thing is I've been doing a little bit of research online and with our friends across the pond. We know beef brisket has become relatively expensive nowadays, and a lot of people are discussing and showing this this chuck roast, which is more of a braised steak in the UK for our UK followers. And by all accounts, they've got some great results. So I've picked up some today. I'm going to go through a little bit of a process with that. I'm going to show you what I do. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to go through again the process that I do with the pork ribs. And that's going to mean basically taking off this membrane at the back. I know some people don't do that. And again, when you look at the these great people in America who are barbecue kings, some people actually leave it on, some people score it, obviously some people take it off. I'm going to take it off. I think it probably allows that meat to absorb some of the flavours, etc. And of course, more importantly, what I am doing is I'm going to dry brine this. So what I've got is I've got some kosher salt and some actually dark sugar, and I'm going to dry brine that for the whole day today, and then this will go on the smoker tomorrow morning, probably around 9 o'clock, and ready for about a 1 o'clock eat time, maybe 2 o'clock eat time, depending on how this sort of renders down, and etc. etc. See if I can get this over here. A little bit more. There we go, that's better. Turn that around a bit. See if I can just tease that up. No, I think it's worth doing. Some people probably argue against it, but I think it's worth doing. As I said, I think it just allows the salt to penetrate a little bit better. Right, look, that's most of it off. I don't see any reason for carrying on. Got most of that off. What I will do as well is I'm just going to take off some of this little bit excess fat here. Now this fat's not going to go to waste. I'm actually going to put that in a burger mix that I'll show you later on. I think you need some fat on there because that, it renders down quite nicely. I think that will probably do a little bit more here. Okay, let me just take this little bit off here. A little bit fatty. Now, some people in America will actually trim this. This is not a competition, so I'm not overly worried about the shape of it. A little bit more fat off that, but that's looking quite good. Just take this little bit off here. There you go. Right. So for the, as I said, for the dry brine, I've got some salt, some kosher salt, and some brown sugar, and I'm just going to basically liberally apply this. I mean, there is a percentage by all accounts that you use in terms of how many grams per square centimeter or square inch, etc. But from what I've done in the past, no expert, just trying to give you my interpretation of dry brining. Make sure you get a little bit on the sides here. I'm going to turn that over. Incidentally, I did sort of dry this off with a tea towel a little bit earlier. It's still got a little bit of dampness on the skin there to allow this salt and sugar mixture to adhere. I'll get a little bit on the sides here. And I'm actually going to do exactly the same with the belly pork. Right, that's pretty much done. And all I'm going to do now is just to wrap this in a little bit of tin foil. But what I don't want is I don't want to really wrap it tight. I want a little bit of air around the actual meat itself. So I'm just going to loosely wrap this. And I think with having a little bit of air around, it just allows it to cure off a little bit better, or to dry out. Okay, there we go. And that's going to go in our fridge overnight. As I said, I'll get that out tomorrow morning. I'll bring it up to room temperature before I put it on the smoker. And we're probably going to be smoking this for about 4, maybe 5 hours. And again, I'll go through that process tomorrow. But spoiler alert, my wife has just come into me and said I'm never going to be making a YouTube sensation, or never will be a YouTube sensation, because I'm rather dull and boring, and I'm too monotone. So I'm going to have a slurp of beer, and I'm just going to disappear for a while, and when I come back, I'm just going to do the chuck roast, and all I'm going to do to that actually is to inject it with a little bit of broth, and then leave that overnight. I'm not going to dry brine that. I've seen lots of evidence on our great friends over the pond in America that actually dry brining it doesn't really make a lot of difference. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's, I suppose it's up to personal taste. But I'll see you in a minute. Cheers. Okay, I'm back. All right, I've had a chat with the wife, and she's basically given me guidance on how to become a YouTube sensation. So I'm feeling really upbeat, and yeah, let's get into it. And by the way, this is making a bit of difference as well. But hey, there we are. For all you people out there who do not drink, my apologies. I drink far too much. But there we are. So now I'm going to zoom down. So give me 2 minutes to go around to the camera. I'm going to zoom down. I'm going to do something with this chuck, beef chuck that I've got, which I haven't done before. I'm just going to experiment. So 2 seconds. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So what I've got here is, as I said, the beef chuck that I picked up today, and all I'm going to do to it is I'm going to take it out of here. In fact, what I will do is I'm going to put a bit of tin foil into this little dish here, and then I'm going to pop this. I'm not going to dry brine this, okay, as mentioned earlier. There's people out there who say it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. So I've got this, again, this is an experiment. I have this beef broth from a company called Frisia. You get beef broth from many companies, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump this with a syringe, with one of these meat syringes. I'm just going to see if it holds in or not. And the whole idea about this is just to see if I can keep the moisture in. It pumps up nicely, so if I keep going round. I'm actually going to use this tomorrow, so I'm not worried about contaminating. I'm actually going to boil it off and use it. So let's go another one here. Let's go another one here. See how that pumps up. Hopefully that's going to hold that in. Seems to be working okay. I don't know how much I should be putting in. Let's go to the side. There's a little bit coming out at the bottom, but I think that will probably do it. Okay, so not going to salt it, as I said. I'm just going to wrap this up. And again, this is an experiment. So for those guys out there who have done it before, let us know. Give us a thumbs up. And when we get it on the smoker tomorrow, it's going to be smoking for several hours, maybe 5 hours, etc. There's going to be, I'm going to coat this, pat it dry, I'm going to coat it with seasoning, salt and pepper fundamentally, and then it's going to go on at about 120 degrees Celsius for about 4 or 5 hours. I'm going to check the bark, and if anybody out there who doesn't understand what bark is, I mean, just go onto some of these great sites in America about smoking this type of meat, or any type of meat, and they'll talk about how the bark is formed and what you're really looking for. And I said, I'm not an expert, I've done a lot of research, I'm getting there, so I've got a great smoker outside which I'll show you later, and hopefully this will work tomorrow. But I wanted a combination of meat. I wanted a combination of the beef and the pork, and of course I have to do the pork belly in a minute, which I'll show you. And then we have the traditional barbecue where we have the sausages and the chicken, etc. So let's see how this turns out tomorrow. I might even put some twine around this tomorrow just to hold it in place. Some people do recommend that. But this is, it's got a decent amount of fat to it. It's got some good marbling on the side here. You can't avoid cutting out, you can't cut out all this fat. It's that type of joint. But hopefully that will render down okay. It's not going to be a brisket. I think they do actually come out a lot better. They're a better cut of meat. So anyway, let's see how it goes. So cover that up, and that goes in the fridge. Okay. Back again. I'm really starting to enjoy this this YouTube stuff. Yeah, had another chat with the wife. Hang on. Oh god. Had a chat with the wife. Gave me some more pointers on how to perform, etc. in front of a camera. It doesn't sound right, does it? Perform in front of a camera. But hey, look, getting better at it. Hopefully, gives a thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever you want to do. So look, this is exactly the same as doing the chicken. But apart from that, I'm using the sugar with it as well. So the brown sugar and the salt as a dry brine. Just imparts a little bit of sweetness, I think, into the meat. So these are my pork belly slices. These are going to be my burnt end pork belly on the smoker tomorrow. And if you haven't tried that, I'll obviously show you what I'm doing tomorrow. But go and check some of the videos out, in the States, etc., where they've got this off, to perfection. So simple case again. I used this earlier for my ribs, and I'm just going to liberally put it across. I have sort of patted these down a little bit, but retain a little bit of moisture on the top there. So it's a matter of getting as even as possible. I know it's difficult to do, but try your best. Oops. And then again over the other ones. And it's as simple as that. And again, for all those people out there who have never done this before, go and have a go. Turn them over. and basically repeat. Okay, and all that salt will be sucked in, and it will do its work, and then when you come to cook it, that moisture will be retained. As I said with the chicken, don't be afraid of this. It is really I'm running out of sugar and salt here, which I didn't want to do, but I have to be sparing with it. There we go, absolutely delightful. And you actually notice the difference when you take these out of the fridge tomorrow. You'll see that they've sort of firmed up and sort of look as though they sort of dried out a little bit, but they're not. All the moisture has been retained. Moisture comes out and then sucked back into it during that salting process. So it works very, very efficiently. And again, these are going to go on the smoker tomorrow. They'll be cooking for many, many hours. And again, I'll show you the process when I do that. But again, burnt end, belly pork. And these actually taste delicious. And again, I'll show you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll give me the thumbs up for it. My family's coming around. So I've got my daughter, son-in-law, my mother, my other daughter, her boyfriend, grandchildren. Obviously my wife is here, and we'll start off early cooking all this stuff. And you know, the reason I do this is because I enjoy doing it, for one thing, but I enjoy the smile on people's faces and that silence that you get when they just tuck into the food for the first time and they just go, wow, that's what I want to achieve. So anyway, so tin foil. Again, want a little bit of air around it. Sometimes I just leave the foil off, if I have to be honest, to get a little bit more air. But I've got quite a lot of stuff in the fridge. I can't really do that, so this isn't pressing too much. I'll probably put it like that. They're good to go. Stick them in the fridge overnight, and they're going to be absolutely delicious tomorrow. Cheers. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Suffolk Smoker. It's just gone 4:30 in the morning. I was supposed to be getting up about 5 o'clock, but I think I was a bit too excited. So I woke up, so I got up. A bit cold outside today. There could be a little bit of rain coming on as well. So I'll probably take you in and out as I do this smoking process. Had a few too many beers last night, but Saturday night, why not, hey? Okay, so I've just got this chuck roast out. I want to go through the process I'm going to do now with that. Okay, ready for it to go on the smoker. So, just to recap on what I did yesterday, I actually injected this with a sort of a brine solution, and I put that in the fridge overnight. It's actually firmed out quite nicely. There's no salting on this, there's no dry curing. So all I'm going to do is take that out. You see how that material that I put in that material has juiced it up, or gelled up, shall I say, into this lovely jelly material. I'm actually just going to smooth that over. Quite interesting, as I said, I've never done this before. And the next process is just to give it a rub. So, first things first, a freshly ground pepper, quite liberal as well. I think beef and pepper works very, very well. Look at that on the side there. That just looks absolutely beautiful. Next, some salt. So just pat this in. Again, not using gloves. Very conscious of saving the planet. turn it over. Same process. Salt. And then I've got some holy cow rib. I'm not going to overdo this. From a height, sprinkle over, make sure it goes on the side, pat it down, sides. You want to get it into all this area here. Pick up a little bit more from the side, all the bits that come off. Doesn't that look special? So I'm going to take this out to the smoker, so I'll see you in a minute. Sorry, I mentioned brine in the earlier video. It's not brine, it's bone broth. And I said this one's from Frisia, so not brine, so try not to confuse you, okay? But obviously with this broth material, once it goes into the fridge, it gels up, as you can see here. That's actually quite interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen, but hopefully that's sort of set inside that that chuck roast there, and obviously when that starts to heat up, etc., with the smoking process, that will probably liberate and just keep that meat nice and juicy. Let's see how it goes. Hey, why not? Okay, now for the ribs. Just to recap, the ribs have been dry brined, okay, with a blend of 50% kosher salt and 50% brown sugar. They've been brining overnight. I've just pulled them out of the fridge. Let's have a look. Wow. Look at that. Absolutely lovely. So all I'm going to do now is to just pat this off. So I said most of the membrane came out yesterday. Didn't get it all, but it's not going to be a problem. Let me just take that a little bit there, if I can. There we go. Right. So I haven't really trimmed them. Again, this is not a competition. It's just for the family to enjoy. So different process with this one. I'm actually going to use a binder. A lot of people don't use a binder. A lot of people just spray it with water or a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Okay, and then they put their binder on. But I'm going to go sort of traditional way and use some yellow mustard. I think this cap is off in here. It's a brand new bottle. No. Right, so yellow mustard, you can pick up from any superstore or supermarket. Apply on, shake actually, apply on. Again, not using gloves, saving the planet, all that. Actually the truth being I haven't got any. So, all very, very simple. Either side, as much as you can. And that looks lovely. So, once that is done, what we're going to do is get some, I've actually got this Salvda smoky pork. I've not been sponsored, by the way, okay, but I've used this on the last one and it was excellent. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. Adam's rib, which is again from the same company. This is what I used last time. So from a height, very good coating, liberal coating on this one. Okay, around the edges. If you can see that, lovely. Flip it over, wipe my hands a little bit, get it all over this. Again, same thing, from a height so it gets a nice even coating. Around the sides. Doesn't that look great? Right, final one for the smoker are the pork belly, which could be the burnt end pork bellies. So very similar process to doing the ribs, but what we're going to do is actually cut these up. So we're going to have about an inch, probably inch sections. So again, these have been curing overnight. You can see this moisture that's come out of it. They were patted dry before they went in, so moisture has come out. So all we do is pat these down. In fact, let me bring the tray up here. Pat these down. The reason we're patting it down because we don't want them too wet. The binder's going to go on. Again, I don't have to use a binder, i.e. the yellow mustard, but that's exactly what I'm doing on this occasion. And then we're just going to simply take about an inch, cut up, inch, same. Get a nice sharp knife, makes a big difference. Inch, 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 inch. There we go. Great thing about these ones, which I picked up from the supermarket, they don't have too much fat on. I mean, there are the occasional one that does have a lot of fat on. Some people don't like the fat too much, if there's too much there. So have a bit of a shop around. Great. And all we're going to do next, okay, wipe my hands, get some binder. I'm just going to liberally pour this over. I'm going to mix that in. As simple as that. Let me just wash my hands quickly. Right. I'm actually going to use the different binder this time, which was the Smoky Pig, again from this company Salva. And again, same process, liberally from a height, sprinkle on, but I am going to actually just mix it in as I go. Get them nicely coated. And that will do it. Wow. As I said, they're going to go on the smoker probably for about 3 hours, something like that, maybe a little bit shorter. I'll keep checking them as they render down, but they look good and they're going to taste good.